Hello everybody, this is Bulldozer Investing. Today is March 11th, 2021. It is 4:39 p.m. Before we begin our analysis, I'd like to remind everybody that I do have a Twitter account. My handle is at bulldozer_INVST. I do share daily charts here as I have time. I've been mentioning that I am doing renovation in my basement, so I kind of gave pause to videos for the last 3-4 weeks, so I can't do like daily videos, but I will be updating you guys what's going on in the market and so forth. And during the market hours, I do post a lot of charts. It's much easier to do the screenshots and give you guys updates on Twitter, so please don't forget to follow Twitter. If you like the video content and the channel, just give us a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel. So that's the introduction. So now let's go ahead and begin our VIX analysis. So looking at VIX here, as I told you before the mini crash had happened, I said the most I'd expect VIX to go is around like 28, 29. It went a little above and it challenged the 28 level. However, the severity of the crash did happen because of the high growth names just crashed down, most of them 50-60%. And although it seems like a small move on VIX, it did affect a lot of accounts. Now this uptrend is broken down and VIX looks bearish. I do see a support on VIX right around 20.99 and the 20 to be exact. So watch for that level to see if it holds. However, the markets are going to be bullish after the stimulus, and I think the president has a speech today. We'll see how that affects the markets. But overall, VIX, you can conclude that there is a little wedge here, but here, let me draw that so that it's also in our attention that there is a wedge, and if it breaks above, it's going to retest the 2774 level right here, this Fibonacci retracement, the 50% retracement. Okay. If we were to redraw, so let's go ahead and redraw the fib extension, and I'll delete this, and I'll go ahead and delete all of this stuff right here, and this and this. So we're doing the wedge. You can say that this is a cup and handle. Let me take a screenshot of it and show you guys what I mean by that. So I mean, by no means VIX is not, completely dead yet. Let's make this like yellow. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, and then you get the cup and handle, right? So if it breaks out, I think it's going to retest this cloud line right here, which we mentioned like 27.74, $28 area. Okay, that's VIX. That's my analysis. And one last thing before we leave VIX, we're going to have to redraw the retracement area, right? So we can do something like this and just figure out how far it could go down. So it could go down as far as 1793. Okay. That level might be the level with a huge support, and that level might be where SPY would test the 412 area. I'll be watching that level. Okay, so let's take a look at SPY. I've told you many times that the cloud bounce, we have to watch for that, and even though it looked like it drilled down the cloud, eventually these are wicks that basically looked bullish anyhow, and now it's at all-time highs. It did break all-time highs, came back down a little bit. Let's go ahead and draw this marking right here. So you're seeing the all-time high right around here. The support is going to be right here. So you're seeing a support at 389. If it breaks above, I think SPY is going to go to 412 eventually. And I've been saying that I drew this fib extension when we were within the cloud, and I said SPY could go all the way up to 412. So by no means I'm not one of those people that will go ahead and say, I come out of my cave and say, oh, here because the market is going up, I'm giving these targets. No. You see bunch of pumpers and all of them. They're gone from Twitter. They're gone from all their actions, and they close their accounts. It's because it's easy to guess when markets are going up, it's bullish. But I've been telling everybody that, okay, we're up here. It might look like a rounding top. Expect SPY to go and retest the cloud top. And we were dead right. So, and then when we were at the cloud top, I said, look for a bounce towards 412. So you have to look at the market technically, cut out all the pumper noise. These people are always going to exist as long as the market is there. You can also draw an extension, something like this, which comes up to 412. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a yellow box here. We can easily see these levels, and then 397.93. So 398 is going to be your resistance, okay, give or take. So that's SPY. Let's jump to NASDAQ. It's going to be on fire because it was hit the most. This one, though, we were, again, spot on with our prediction of how far QQQ can go down, and we were mentioning it right here. Now, my estimation would have been 308, which I said, and it went down further than 308. I thought that it would test the cloud bottom. It went down, but I said if it does break down, and I drew these channels for you guys, the extension levels. And again, by no means we're one of those people that would pump up when stocks are going up and then just leave you guys alone when stocks are, dead and everything looks bearish and they're gone. They close their accounts and they're gone. So I like to draw this. It's a descending wedge. Now, it's a cloud top resistance, and all the daily moving averages right here is going to be a resistance right around 320. Is a strong resistance. So if we come back to test 311, or even come back to test the bottom of the wedge around 294, like a violent breakdown to get all the people shaken out again, I wouldn't be surprised. So yes, it looks bullish. We're back in the cloud. But look at this. The volume is decreasing. The volume bars are decreasing and the stock is going up. So, but the MACD, stochastics, and RSI, all internals are bullish. So I'm going to watch the 320 level very carefully. If we can hold there a couple of days and just 4 or 5 days in a row, we're on top of the cloud. What I mean by top of the cloud is the Ichimoku cloud. Then we have some runs to make. Okay. And this time I'm not going to do a retracement. This time I'm not going to do an extension. I'm going to do a retracement. So as you can see, perfect spot on. We just closed right on the 50% retracement, right underneath it. The stock can go, the QQQ ETF can go all the way up to 323. And then eventually your long-term target should be 364, which is at the top of the channel. So what my prediction is going to be, and I'll go ahead and adjust this right here, take a picture of it and show you what my prediction is so that you guys can know what I'm looking at. The MACD crossover, stochastics crossover, RSI is picking up. RSI did a double bottom here, okay? And the only thing is that the volume is descending while the stock is going up. I don't want this to be a bear flag and another leg down, which is a possibility, although the internals are showing us bullish signs, okay? So look for this. So look for this play if it does happen. So save some money, if it just goes up and then crashes down to get a wedge support and then picks up and run. So that would be, forming a possible inverse head and shoulder. Okay. Don't let the markets shake you out. Markets don't always go up, and markets don't go down forever. Eventually, you're always going to see, something like this. Could be a very nice play. So you get that inverse head and shoulder. Okay. That's one possible play. Now, the second possibility is, which I hope it works out this way, is going to get a support and then go up. So eventually, we'll reach our target of 364 by summer. Okay, and obviously we do have some, resistance, the 61.8, and then we're gonna have a resistance right around here, which is around like 332s, 333s. Those are obviously some resistance levels, but my target is 364. Okay. Now let's take a look at Dow. Dow is gonna drop, obviously. I mean, it looked like it picked up and everything, but if QQQ is going up, if there's a sector rotation, it looks super bullish. By no means it looks bearish, but it's like one thing in mind that I have is like, okay, you know, all these Dow names have gone up tremendously while the QQQ is still lagging. Then if there's a sector rotation, they're gonna sell the Dow and buy the Nasdaqs. So there you go. It's almost reaching the 100% extension, which is sitting at 327.71. So I'll watch for that area. Possible moves. We'll go ahead and draw you the visual of what I'm expecting. And the internals are obviously bullish here. I'll go ahead and zoom. I think I zoomed in too much. There you go. This looks good, right? So what might happen is, let's go ahead and take a picture. I'll give you a couple of scenarios here. MACD bullish, stochastics bullish, RSI bullish, solid green candles here. It's above the cloud. So what you could basically see is hit the 100% extension and get a support back at 319, okay? And then go up later. The chart looks bullish. I like the double bottom in a way, and I like this cloud top bounce. And you can't really call this a double bottom exactly, but what I like to call it, because I like the double bottom where the second leg is a higher low. That's why I drew this extension like this, so that you can target. And the extension might be a little off, so let's go ahead and fix that. I think I kind of messed up on that. So the low here is 298.59. And the second leg lower is, what is it? 305.68. So this one was pretty much spot on. And the top here is 319.92. So just to give you guys an exact numbers, actually this looks much more accurate. 327.01. Then you have 326.97. It looks like Dow has reached the 100% extension. A little pullback towards the 318.86 won't surprise me at all, because your Disneys, your Boeings, all the, you know, the Dow, the heavy industrials, the travel stocks, your Verizon, AT&T. I don't know if Verizon is in Dow, but so you'll get those stocks pulled back a little towards the 318 might make sense to me. But then eventually your target should be 340. Okay, so that's Dow. Next up on our list, next ETF is IWM. IWM is super bullish. I mean, it doesn't look like Nasdaq at all. QQQ. So we checked QQQ. We said that, you know, this one broke above the megaphone. And let me go ahead and delete this. And it broke and closed above the 61.8, which is really good. And it's sitting at all-time high. Look at this cloud top bounce. So that's what I mean. And also when I was doing this, you know, when I was doing IWM, honestly speaking, I thought that we were just going to hit the bottom of the channel and then bounce up. But we went much further than that and hit the cloud top. And I thought that this would have been the second low, which would be 212. So it actually shocked me a little, going and bouncing on top of the cloud. I just honestly thought this would 220 and then 213 was going to be low. But look at this pickup, this huge wick. It's super bullish. So you're going to have this continuous run. Now we might get a slight pullback right around here at 228 and then pick up. I've always said 240 was IWM. That was my target. So it looks like it's going towards that way. The high growth sector is obviously going to keep on going up. I like the volume here. I like the MACD, stochastics, RSI. This chart looks bullish. So all those people that freaked you out and said market is going down, we're going to see a 99 type of crash, blah, 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 valuation, and they get you scared, right? And look what happened. Okay. Now it's going to go up further to 240 and then we'll reevaluate, but that's IWM. My target has always been 240. So we'll watch for that level. Next up on our list is Apple. Apple, I did buy some today. Not a lot. I think like, I don't know, like 100 shares. I can't recall what I did, but The reason why I bought it is because remember I drew this yellow box and I said we were trading right around within the cloud. I said I wouldn't be surprised, and I said that the real support would come around this trading range right here. We saw many supports here, and then also the resistance coming at this yellow box, but it bounced off basically. So what I think of Apple, and I'm looking at long term, six months ahead of time, right? I don't care what happens, a couple weeks or a couple of days. But the MACD is almost about to cross over. RSI basically held, so I think it's going to pick up eventually. It's lagging, obviously. The reason why it was lagging is because a lot of the institutions and funds most likely sold Apple, Microsoft, and all those other like Facebook. And you didn't see like huge sell-offs, but they wanted to liquidate. They wanted to get some cash and then average down their growth stocks because they were down heavy. And they don't mind selling Apple and Microsoft because they probably have tons of them, right? So it doesn't hurt to sell few to average down what they had, crash down like 30-40%. Apple, nice regain over 9-day moving average, 121.61 cents, 120.61 cents, is going to be your support right here. So 121.61. Above the 9-day, I think it's going to test 125, and I've been saying that. That's where your 100-day moving average is. We can go ahead. It's still a pennant, guys. Again, I'm not going to be hyped up about Apple yet because again, we can do something like this. Let me take a picture and show you a visual of what I'm seeing with Apple. Right here, this is bullish crossover, picking up RSI. It's descending. Okay, now this could be a possible bear flag and then go down further, or go up a little bit and then go down further, but I don't care because I'm sitting at an average of 121 something, right? So I don't mind averaging down at 115, 111s. Those are fine. I might not even average and just wait for the breakout. Okay. Do things look super bullish? Not yet, but you want to buy the reversal. You want to buy Apple low here. You want to buy Apple low here, and then don't worry about the waves because it'll just explode. So don't worry about these small waves because I think it's going to pick up and run towards 144. I've said that here many times when we were here in this price range, I kept telling everybody that do not get into options. They're going to suck away and eat the premiums. Do not play Apple options because here is a strong resistance. Okay, cloud top, previous high. Okay, or like not the previous high, but basically what the height is here. What I meant previous high is that 138 was the high, and I'll show you that right here, was the high before the breakout, this reverse split. So, or split, not reverse, this is split. So 4-to-1 split. So that's where you see, that 138 level right here, right here, right here. This was a bull trap, which I thought that, after the earnings would go to 150, but they kind of got me there as well. And then you have this falling wedge now. Now, do you want to buy it here and wait a little bit if it gets there? Sure, but I just thought that, why not? 120 is good for Apple. Eventually, they're just going to run it anyway. So my long-term target on Apple is $204. Short-term target right now is sitting at 139, and then maybe couple months after, like 2 months or so, I'm expecting 144 from Apple. I'm in Apple right now. Okay. So I'm going to review two more stocks today. The first one that I'm going to review is FUBO. As you guys might know that I've been in FUBO for some time now. I'm not sure why this is not loading. So I'm just going to pause the video until wait till it's loading. All right, so the chart is loaded. FUBO, if this is a double bottom, which I hope it is, and even the MACD is not ready. A stochastics RSI is picking up. MACD is not ready yet, so this run is nothing. Basically, it'll run more once the MACD is ready, and the volume finally is picking up a little bit. I know after the earnings, even though the earnings weren't that bad, it just tested the 120-day moving average and it just crashed down with the market. So it's not a stock-related, drop, but the drop was tremendous from 43 to 26. That was a heavy drop, and it probably ruined a lot of people. But then look at this level right here, and then the pickup. Little meltdown and then another pickup. So what I'm guessing what will happen is, and I'll go ahead and draw the scenario here. So let's go ahead and draw that right here. What I'm guessing is it might run up and test the 20-day, maybe even break a little higher and then slowly melt up, get another support at 61.8, and then eventually run to my target of 61.8. So we kind of seen that here, but this was like, I don't know if it was news related or short squeeze. So we might see that, you know, 3 days in a row of run, and then the whole entire week, it might just do a little flag, maybe a long extended flag, and then just run up, and we'll see something like that. Now the difference here is that it was above the 50-day moving average. Now the 50-day moving average is going to be a resistant, so I want to see how it behaves with the IWM, Nasdaq picking up, all the growth stocks picking up. Big day today, almost 12%. I'm expecting this 50% as the first resistance and the 61.8 as the second major resistance. But before we get there, what I'm worried about is that how well the stock does when it does reach up towards the moving day averages. So the 20 crossed the 50, which is again it's bearish if you look at it technically, but the 9-day has to curl up and the price has to stay above this 61.8. Okay, so as long as we stay above that level, I think we're gonna run towards the 50 and then the 61.8. Let's go ahead and see what those price levels are. So we're looking at 33.31 as a resistance, but it did manage to close above that. Let's see how it behaves. Anything that will make the price drop, you're looking at around, you know, $31 area, 30.76 area as a support. But what I think is that we might see this run, okay? We might see a tremendous run and then maybe hit right here where the pennant line is and then drop and do a little flag and then pick up afterwards. So 33.31 is a critical area. Your next resistance is 37.92, which is 38. If we get there, that's where all the moving day average crossover action is. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a major resistance again. So 38 area is critical, and then you're looking at the cloud bottom area and then run up again. So hold the stock long. I think the growth names, if they pick up, it's gonna run with it. But when, you know, other names run like 5%, this will run 10, 12, 15, 20%. We'll seen those names. You know, the stock went up from $26 to $56 within like 3-4 weeks. So we might see a bounce like that coming up. Next up is Palantir. Now Palantir, I own a lot of Palantir. If you weigh like all my trading account, like the swing trade account and the long term stock account, I own more Palantir than any other stock. I might be wrong, I don't know. I just want to test my you know, luck here. MACD is super bullish. Look at it here, the cross. Stochastics is bullish. RSI is picking up slowly. I like that we closed above the 20-day moving average, which is really good. And the 9 is curling up, which is also good. So everything seems like bullish. It broke out of this wedge, which is again bullish. So your first resistance is sitting at 28.24, where 50-day moving average is. And I really want to see if we can break above this. You can, as you can see, this channel right here. So let me delete this channel. Okay. And let me delete this one. This is no longer a play. This is no longer a play. And we'll delete that. So as you can see here, we have two lines, right? I want to see if we can break above and challenge to go towards 34. If we can't, what's going to happen is we're going to hit and then come back and retest, either get a support at 50 or get a support at 20. So let me draw that scenario for everybody, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you like the weekly chart and the long-term goal for this. So again, just basing off the internals, bullish, bullish, bullish. Okay. Volume, finally we're getting like green bars. That's okay. But what could happen is we could hit here and then come back and get a support. Second possible scenario. We can go all the way up to 50 and get, and if these like move down and then this moves up, we can get a support right around. So hit 31 and get a support around 27.5, and then continue up. Okay. Now that's my short term, like couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Okay. Either we're going to come to a resistance at 28 and retest the 9-day, or we're going to run up to the 50% and get a support at the 50-day moving average. So those are two possible scenarios. Now let's take a look. Let's zoom out. And my long-term goal for this one is $56. And I was the guy who said buy, 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 and it kept going down. People made fun of me. People challenged me on Twitter and blah, blah, blah. These people don't know any technicals and they come and challenge me and so forth. I mean, not that I know a lot, but it just doesn't make sense for people that have no posts whatsoever. They're like 2 followers and then they come and say, you don't know crap, blah, blah, blah. Well, contribute. Contribute. Let's see what you have. Well, let's see what, you're made out of. So I kept buying, 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 and I had like 2,000 share position, I think. And then I sold it right here and bought something else. I don't know what happened, but right around when I saw this support and the breakout, I bought calls, which I made nearly 800 to 900% off of this move, which made up of the shares that I sold at $28 area, 27.90s or something like that. But then the amount of options I got basically made up. If I kept my shares, I would have probably made the same amount. So coming back now, I'm average way lower than my position here. And I think I have like nearly 2,000 shares right now on Palantir, and I'm going to build up more eventually because this run is going to be not, spiking up in 2 days. So I'm going to collectively try to accumulate. Long run is 56.59. That's my target. We're going to see some resistance around 34 and obviously 42.68. So that level right there is going to be your resistance. Let's take a look at this weekly and tell you what's going on. So the weekly chart, let's go ahead and fix this mess. Okay. As you can see, it's not enough history to, I can't even zoom out. So this might look like a flag. Okay. Now it was a nice pennant, broke out, and then now it's coming back. And this candle, this weekly candle looks really good. It looks like on the weekly resistance, let's go ahead and draw that line. The weekly resistance is going to be the 9-day moving average. As you can see, this cloud top and everything else with it, right? Or I'm sorry, the candle top. And 29.58 to 31 area is going to be your resistance for next week. Okay. And I wouldn't be surprised if we try to go towards that area tomorrow. I mean, who knows? We can 26.73. If we open like $27 tomorrow, it could move up another dollar and test that area. As soon as we break out of this, and you see this orange line, right? Top. Sorry about that. Let me grab this. So it coincides with the pitch work that I drew. The top is going to be towards the 58 areas. If we manage to break out of this channel and we move slowly, give it like the end of the year, I think it's going to hit $58 to $60. It's not a bad stock. It's a growth stock. Obviously, people are going to question and say things about it, but if you look at all the AI names and other companies, and this just got a contract today from a French auto part company for autonomous driving, I think 6 years contract. So they're going to keep on winning contracts, and eventually this stock is going to end up at 56. Technically speaking, all the internals for the short term looks bullish. For the short term, you can manage 31, 43, and $34. That's my conclusion. It's been 29 minutes. It's going to be like a 30-minute video. Thank you for listening. If you did like the content, give us a subscription, subscribe, and give us a like. Again, I'm not going to be able to post as much videos as I used to daily because I also teach cybersecurity online, and we do hands-on training, and we also do train people to get their certification for Security Plus exam. So it's going to be our cohort just started. So I had that 3-month break, but it just started. So I'll be doing online classes, teaching online classes, 3 hours a day, 3.5 hours. and it's going to be a lot of work for me. I'll try to squeeze in the videos, maybe Sundays or days like this that I have enough time to manage to get, 30 minutes out. So that's all. And I hope you stay safe. Don't use too much margin again. Don't get hyped up into these runs. They might pull back a little and upset you. Just try to be careful. Hold on to the names you have. Average down slowly and don't panic. Always look at VIX. Always look at SPY, QQQ, and IWM and Dow ETFs to make sure to see where your price will indicate to go in further out weeks. Okay. See you next video.